Ayo, hope you guys are having a good night. I am so full of emotions right now, but um over the past 2 nights it's basically been like WrestleMania season, and I was hoping I could do a stream yesterday, but I got caught up with a few other things after watching that. Um but tonight I guess I'll do a quick review before we get started. Um Let me just bring up the match list. Where's that? There we go. Okay. So WrestleMania thankfully has been spread over 2 nights, and it's been like that for past 3 years now. Let me just double check that. For those of you who don't know, WrestleMania is basically like the biggest wrestling event here in North America. And it's put on by the biggest company in North America right now, WWE. So for a long time, yeah, WWE didn't really have any major competitors for the last little while. Not since their other rivalry with WCW back in the 90s, early 2000s-ish. Yeah. Oh, let me just also mute the audio too, because I think I have Hearthstone playing. Hold on. There we go. Okay. So with yeah, like WWE's been through a little bit of turmoil over like this year alone, or yeah, this year alone basically. Their old heads, like the main chairman of that, Vince McMahon, basically got accused of very serious sexual assault allegations. So he was forced to step down. And this was the guy who's basically driving the product for the past like 38 years or so. Yeah, ever since he took over from his dad. But by him stepping down and stepping away from creative, it's allowed for a lot more for new blood to enter the scene and create new stories compared to whatever Vince McMahon wanted at the time. So it's been like a great breath of fresh air, and finally allowed a lot of talent to be utilized again in a way that plays to their strengths rather than try and be something that they're not. So for this night, the main story going in was that of Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns, but I'll go into that later. Let's see. I guess I'll talk about the format too, like, because WWE's roster is so massive, there's probably like well over 100 wrestlers on their roster right now. They were forced to get everyone, or like split up the dates into 2 dates, just to let the matches breathe and not have a squash match like every, like for every third or fourth match, which is great. It's also allowed some of the minor feuds to get onto the card too, like feuds that aren't for titles, even though they have like, how many titles? 2 world title, or 2 heavyweight titles, 2 tag titles now, Intercontinental, US, 2 women's titles. So that's 8. Am I missing anything? No, that's about it. Cruiserweight title got retired. NXT's its own thing. And the women's tag wasn't put up. So I guess 9 titles in total if the women's is put up. Yeah. Anyways, so let's get on to the matches then. I didn't see the very first match because I miscalculated the time zones because of like daylight savings and stuff. First match was Rhea Ripley and Becky Lynch. I can only say that this was probably the better decision. Like, Becky is still a great contender and she's hungry for it, but Rhea is just like so full of momentum right now, and there's still other stories she can tell too. The downside is that she's kind of wiped out like half of the women's division already, so I'm hoping that there'll be like another shakeup or something to allow her to face a new series of opponents or something like that. I still feel like there's a lot more to tell in terms of her character work. Like, it's pretty defined right now. I just like to see it clash against other stronger, like, strong personalities. Like, she's already had matches with Charlotte and Becky. It would be interesting to see her go against Bailey, but I think Bailey's got her hands full right now, but I'll get to that later. So Rhea retained, and then this next match was interesting. The second match was a 6-pack ladder match for the take titles. Now, normally these take titles would be together, so if you won one title, you'd get the other one too, which is how Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens got their title from the Usos last year, and why Judgment Day got both titles after they defeated both of them. But I guess they wanted to have each brand have their own titles again, which is a good move. Like, each brand already has so many take teams to work with, and it'd be weird for them to keep fighting over the same set over and over again. Anyways, in this match, I wasn't able to watch all of it. I only caught the ending. But Austin Theory and Grayson Waller's got the SmackDown titles, and Miz and R-Truth got their Raw titles from Judgment Day. I really like this one, like, with the Raw portion, just because, like, it matches with the lead into this. R-Truth had been claiming that he was a member of Judgment Day for the past, like, 4 months or something, which is crazy to me. But he's had some really great comedy spots. Like, he had his own t-shirt, then he was selling that t-shirt and handing his tribute to the Judgment Day, and they were acting all cool for it, until Truth started screwing with the Judgment Day's matches. He had that one video package showing them as, like, babies and stuff, which was, like, hilarious. Truth just has, like, great comedic timing. But I'm happy to see them win, like, that series of belts. And it's the first time that The Miz and Truth got those together as well, despite them being a take team, like, for a little while. Oh my god, how many years ago was it? Multiple years ago. And Miz is a good take team partner too. He's been in multiple take teams already. Like, not all of them have ended well. It's been kind of cursed about how many partners he's had who were then, like, fired or, like, released afterwards. Like, I remember him being, like, with the Miz and John Morrison. They were take champs for a while. Then John Morrison got released. Then him and Damien Sandow. Then Sandow got released. He had one other guy. I can't remember his name, but he also got released. The only ones who I know haven't had that treatment are, like, R-Truth, Ciampa. I think that's about it. Dang. So after that, or I'm kind of interested in seeing where A-Town Down goes with this too, because they're in a faction with Logan Paul, or acting as his associates and stuff. So hopefully they aren't just used as an accessory to Logan for their faction. After that, we had Rey Mysterio and Andrade versus Santos and Dominic. I believe this one's revenge from last year. I need to double check, because Rey did face his son last year. Yeah, Rey beat Dominic. So Rey and Dominic hit pretty much still lingering, like, hatred towards each other. I've loved seeing Dominic grow into his character over the past little while, ever since he started, like, with his prison, like, convict persona, and then evolving that more and more, like, doubling down on how tough he is, even though he's, like, pretty cowardly. But he's also got the wrestling to back it up too, so it adds a lot of nuance to his character. And surprising depth too, yeah. Like, dude's been interested in wrestling ever since he got put up for a ladder match. which I still can't believe was a thing. Oh my gosh. Yeah, in this case, the right people won. Mysterio and Andrade. Andrade just recently came back to WWE back in the Rumble, so he really needs this momentum to help him get situated. And he slides well in with Mysterio and the rest of LW as well, due to his connection with Zelina. I just hope that this doesn't result in like Carlito and Dragon Lee getting sidetracked. Like, it's very strange to me that they didn't keep Dragon Lee in his position and instead slotted Andrade. And hopefully this leads to a match between the two. Yeah. Custody of Frey's affection or something like that. Then after that we had Jimmy versus Jey Uso, brother versus brother. Oh man, the package showing their history and all of the recent events involving like the Bloodline storyline was just great. Very dramatic. I watched another review on this by Ollie on Wrestle Talk about how this match kind of lacked emotional depth. Or, like, when it came to match itself, it kind of was lacking a little bit of emotional depth, especially with the second half. In the second half of the match, or no, the first half of the match was basically just, like, them kicking each other, like, so many super kicks. I thought it was, like, the Young Bucks facing each other. But the second half, Jimmy tried to plead with his brother to stop. He said he had enough. But then Jimmy tried to... It was basically him just, like, playing a fast one, trying to get, like, some damage in and stuff like that. But at least Jay saw through it and beat him. I do agree with Ollie's assessment on Wrestle Talk that this match was pretty short. And looking at the time, it was only, like, 11 minutes. The Usos wrestle a very fast style, but can slow down as needed in order to give like motion, like time for the emotions to breathe and stuff like that. I feel like this could have gone a bit longer, as well as with heightened emotional tension, especially if they use like blood or something like that. I also wish they dove a little bit deeper into their movesets. Like, I know the super kick and the frog splash are basically their bread and butter, but it would have been interesting to see that, like, how they're trying to, like, outsmart each other because they're twins at the end of the day. Like, how do you beat yourself? That sort of thing. Then after that was, for the fifth match, Bianca, Jade, and Naomi versus Damage Control. Yeah, not too much to say about this. Like, every woman on the winning side, Bianca, Jade, and Naomi, had their time to shine. I'm just really concerned that this makes Asuka and Kairi look weak. Like, it was not a good 2 days for Damage Control overall. After that, Sami Zayn versus Gunther. Oh my gosh. Probably my second favorite match overall. Definitely my favorite match of that night, though. Sami basically got murdered for, like, half of that match. Gunther just, like, repeatedly powerbombed him, chopped him. What else did he do? I can't recall if he tried a submission on him, but Sami just looked absolutely battered in that. But then somehow mustered enough energy to come back, do like a top rope neck breaker or back breaker. I thought he was gonna do like a Falcon Arrow or something like that, but not. Like, I'm amazed he can still stand on that knee after all of that punishment. And finally ended Gunther's like more than year-long streak with that belt. A lot of people were hoping for Gable to come out and, like, instead of Sami in that spot, but either one of them could have taken that, I think. I just hope that Sami loses to Gable later on. because Gable really needs the time to shine. He's been putting in so much work with Alpha Academy, like, and Sammy doesn't need a long reign either. He can naturally get over whether he has spelt or not, but he does add a lot of prestige, especially this is his second time with it. And then for the last match of that night, match 7, Bloodline, in this case Rock and Roman Reigns versus Cody and Seth freaking Rollins. This was really well paced, I'll say that. And the crowd was absolutely electric between the interactions between like all of the wrestlers. It did feel a bit weird how The Rock was in some ways undermining Roman a lot simply by like trying to appear more powerful than Roman, even though he's supposed to be subservient. But it worked out though. I loved how they started off in the ring, then brawled into the crowd, and then gradually, as The Rock realized how formidable both of them were, he started like abusing his authority as a member of the board to like get away with like doing low blows. I think they used weapons in that too. Oh no, they used like no countouts, that sort of thing. And it was good that The Rock and Roman won because it made things more interesting for night 2. I was really just hoping that they wouldn't use the rules as an excuse to screw over Cody again and make it like having him win the Rumble 3 times in a row or something like that. Also looking at the time though, oh my gosh, it was 44 minutes. This match was long, but it did not, because of the way that they planned it out and the different phases to it, it didn't feel that long at all. Yeah. And Seth put his, like, there's so many interesting moments in that match too, like how Seth saved Cody from a Roman spear and then Roman hit The Rock instead. So they were not just only having a match, but also planting seeds for like possible future interactions between Roman and The Rock. But that'll depend on The Rock's film schedule and stuff like that. He just happened to be off because of the actors' strike and lead up to Mania and stuff like that. Overall, just really solid night 1. Sami Zayn deserved his match with Gunther. And yeah, that's about it. And then for night 2, I managed to watch this one in full. Finally got those time zones correct. Drew McIntyre absolutely brutalized Seth Rollins for the first match. Just opened the match with a Claymore kick. Did that like 4 more times and basically pinned Seth. Although I will say Seth's entrance was probably the best one overall. Just coming out with kind of remind me of like a Mardi Gras band, but like Philadelphia has its own thing. Yeah. Then after that, Damian Priest. Oh yeah, like yeah, just absolutely being dominated, which matched the story of Seth being beaten up from like last night too. Then Damian surprisingly cashed in against Drew. Like, I thought he would either do it tonight or on the Raw after Mania. But I guess the reason why they wanted to tonight was because Punk was on commentary for that, and he basically beat up McIntyre for taunting him. So I guess it fits that Damian would interfere, like use the briefcase, hit him in the head with it, then roll his finisher on him and like straight in the ring. Sucks for McIntyre, but it fits his character of like being too blinded by his hates to notice everything else that's going on and stuff. It's just tragic for him, but it'll further his story. And maybe he'll, how do you put it? He'll get a proper moment maybe during Backlash or something like that. It just feels like a very monkey paw moment, because like all he wanted was a title win at WrestleMania in front of a live audience, which he got. It's just that he didn't think about what happened afterwards. Alright. So match 3, well, technically match 3. Lashley and Street Profits versus Final Testament. Like, I hate having these two teams face off against each other because, like, they have such great talent between them, but also Final Testament just formed as well, so it feels a little bit early for them to lose. But at the same time, there aren't that many big factions out there. Like, of course they have the Bloodline, but for the male factions, you basically only have, like, Alpha Academy, Logan's Gang, Legado del Fantasma, LWO, so that's like 4. Cody and his gang, which is very, very loose, which is 5. And that's about it. There aren't that many big factions right now, which is very odd. I'm hoping that might change, though, as Triple H gets more, like, finally has control over creative and stuff like that. But anyways, in this match, Lashley and the Prophets, also known as the Pride, defeated Final Testament. Just overall chaos. It was nice having, like, how they brought in Bubba Ray in order to do the refereeing, in order to, how you put it, which evoked a sense of, like, ECL Roots' home, being in Philadelphia. Yeah. Not too much else to say about it. It was about the right pace too, like very fast action. Oh, there was one moment in that match though. Oh my gosh, they're like trying to set up Karrion Kross on a table for the finish, but somehow that table broke. Truly an I am the table moment. So, but they managed to keep everyone engaged, especially between like Lashley and Angelo Dawkins getting the other table. Yeah, they almost lost it, but they managed to set up the table in time, and like another table, and Ford one with like frog splash through it. It was fine. I just wish that these two teams weren't the only teams out there, and that like Final Testament had another group to run through before, well, yeah, before running through Lashley's group. After that, LA Knight beat AJ Styles. Trying to remember what happened in this match. Lots of counters. And it's good that LA Knight won. He needs to ride that momentum. Like, ever since playing off for Maximum Male Models, he's been hot, which is good. Then, this is the match I mostly disagree with. Logan Paul beat Kevin Owens and Randy Orton. I'll also say this one had like some of the funner spots too, like the openings, especially for Owens. As he was preparing to do his entrance, he met up with Sammy. Sammy said, "Hey, it's your turn now." They slapped each other in a very like friendly fashion and then went out. And then not only that, but like him and Orton went down to the ring like on a golf, well, not really a golf cart, but you know those like tour carts that like people have around if they need to go from place to place within a building. Yeah. But there was one spot in that match wherein basically, like in the beginning of that match, they basically took turns beating up Logan, and they're trying to slam Logan through the Spanish announce table. Orton tried first. It didn't break. So Owens tried again because he thought he could get him up higher. It still didn't break. And then Orton tried one more time. Like just, I believe, a choke slam, and it still didn't break despite all of that. It was just something like totally within Owen's character to try and do. Anyways, I just wish that Logan didn't win just because like Owens and like the rest of WWE is going to Canada pretty soon. So it would have been nice to see Owens with the belt, like Owens and Sammy with their belts respectively, because they have like pretty much earned it at this point. And Owens has been screwed out of so many like titles recently too. Like it's dude needs a title again. I know he got the tag team titles, but come on, like he got screwed so many times by Logan. After that was Bayley versus Io. I like the story going into this, wherein Bayley has felt like really overlooked. Like when Damage Control formed, I believe she kind of took a back seat and let like Io have her moment and like be the main, like the crown jewel of their faction. But over time, like I think ever since Survivor Series, she's been basically doing a lot of the heavy lifting, making sure that the team was like cohesive and together and stuff like that. So during Survivor Series, she basically did a lot of spots where she pulled teammates out of danger and took a lot of the damage herself. But even that wasn't enough to beat the other team in that match. So it's kind of vindicating to see her win over here, over Io, to show that she still got it, that despite everything, she's still a solid wrestler, one who can, you know, who doesn't necessarily need backup in order to do her job and get the work done. But Io, though, oh my gosh, she had like such a interesting counter to the rose plant, where she basically just like front flipped through it. Or no, it was like front cartwheel or something like that. Yeah, I've seen that counter a few times too with various like, yeah, whether it was like through a cutter or like a DDT. I think Ospreay uses that counter a lot too. Yeah. And then the last match, Cody versus Roman, definitely match of like the event. Yeah, but Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns, oh my gosh. I was really scared for him, again, due to the bloodline rules, basically meaning that like it was no DQ, no countouts, just pinfall or submission in the middle of the ring. And like on night one, the pacing was really good in that they start off by testing each other, like feeling the audience reaction, and then gradually moved on to, you know, standard strikes and all that. Then brawling through the crowd, getting weapons. Cody teased the table, but then Roman put it back and instead just abused the kendo sticks. What else was there? The worst part was seeing all of that outside interference, though. Like, it's basically a staple of Roman's at this point, that whenever he's in trouble, he'll get, like, Jimmy to show up, then Solo, and then, I guess now The Rock. But each of those were countered by people who like Roman had like messed with in the past. Like Jimmy got cancelled out by Jay. Like they literally went through a table along the ramp. Solo got taken out by like John Cena coming out of nowhere. I mean, of course, he's kind of hard to spot because you can't see him. But then Cena got taken out by The Rock. Then Seth tried to interfere and instead got taken out by Roman before he could. It was kind of sad. But the most surprising of all was just how The Rock got countered by not Stone Cold Steve Austin, but like The Undertaker. Like lights went out and everything, and his gong sounded. Now, I can't remember if The Rock feuded with The Undertaker at one point. I'm pretty sure they would have, considering how long they were both in the companies for. And The Undertaker did get beaten by Roman at one point too, during his very long title reign. Actually, yeah, like, The Undertaker got screwed over by, or no, got beaten by Roman, like a couple of years ago at WrestleMania. It was like the Undertaker's second loss. Yeah. So with all of that backup out of the picture, it was just finally down to Cody versus Roman. But Roman dropped the ball because he saw that Seth was still in the ring, and so was the steel chair. So he quickly got his revenge by hitting a chair in like Seth's back, as like a callback to their Shield days. But that one distraction gave enough room for Cody to like hit 3 crossroads in a row. Finally. Oh my gosh. This match was all that it needed to be and more. Seeing Roman's family get dismantled piece by piece by the people he's wronged was great. I just wonder now what Cody's gonna do. It was great just seeing him in the ring, like, with everyone who's cheered him on ever since coming back to WWE. Like, with Orton, with Owens, with Sammy. Who else was out there? Jay. LA Knight was also out there too, for some reason. Maybe it's because they had a similar trajectory, but I'm not too sure. Yeah. I'm really hoping this, like, that Cody gets a pretty long reign, at least until the next Mania. It doesn't need to be forever, it just needs to be, like, memorable, being a fighting champion, living up to, like, his father's expectations. And he's got a plethora of people to interact with now on SmackDown. There's still Owens, there's still Orton. Cross could get in there too if he wanted. I don't think he's gonna do Gunther just yet. It'll depend if there's a shakeup within the year, which probably will be. Who else could he face on SmackDown? Cody's always been about, like, elevating other talent too, so... He could face some up-and-coming talents, like Grayson Waller, for instance. Let me just see the SmackDown roster real quick. WWE personnel? Oh, Styles, yeah. Styles would be a great pick. I don't think they faced each other yet. Yeah. Because, like, when Styles came to WWE, Cody was already out. So they never faced each other on the indies. Braun Breaker. I can see Cameron Grimes. Dragon Lee. LA Knight, definitely. Pete Dunne. Yeah, that's a possibility. Sheamus whenever he's back. Tyler Bates. Yeah. There's also the potential for other people in the men's division in Raw to come down there too, but we'll see. Alright, so I think that's about it. Let's get on to gaming. Probably should have done it while Oh, gotta reconnect. There we go. Let's just do one match, and then I'll probably call it. Oh my gosh, like, it's so rare to see, like, such a big event go so well from top to bottom. Of course, some matches probably could have used a little bit more time to breathe, especially with the Usos match, but Night 2 was definitely quite well put together. Like, each match stood on their own, each match had their own individual story built up. Yeah. It's just a matter of what they do here with Cody's reign. As he said in the press report, he's still able to go through more levels, and he's like, I believe in that. I just hope that they're careful and learn from like Cody's experiences in AEW about how to build up a match. Like, it's important that he keeps that sense of emotion, but he can't be like overly reliant on it. Like, what matters most is that each match feels different in a way. Like, how do you put it? Like, unique and... how do I put it? Like, at the end of the day, it's about the story. And you have to include the wrestling in the story too, but, like, you have to include stuff like a proper build-up, escalation, and, like, a good resolution too. Now, Cody's probably going to be a dominant champion, seeing as how many times he had to eat, like, a spear in that match against Roman. Like, oh my gosh, he went through, like, low blows. He went through, like, a Smoten Spike plus a spear and still kicked out of that. He went through candlesticks. So the dude's probably kind of invincible right now. And he did have some stumbling blocks in AEW, specifically with stuff like Anthony Ogogo and how... oh my gosh. He had a meme come up after that about how he ended racism. It stemmed from his promo about, like, how he was proud to be an American, and proud that he had a daughter with his wife and stuff like that. But people interpret it as, like, people interpret it as Cody, like, ending racism or something like that. Just something real dumb. And they started photoshopping him into moments like MLK, or like the meeting between Martin Luther and what's his name, Malcolm X, or stuff like that. It's just hilarious. It's all over the Squared Circle Reddit. I guess what's noticeable about that roster too is there aren't that many gimmicked wrestlers in it, aside from maybe like Karrion Kross. So maybe there might be a resurgence in that. There's a lot of people who are just like, hey, I'm just a brawler type. Which isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's just that you might want to have a little bit more diversity. What do I want to play now? I could go demons. And this is nice because I can combo with that. Yeah, let's just... there's a combo with Nagas that I can do later, but it depends on how I build. Okay. What else can I say? Yeah, there's just a certain... yeah, something about the composition of the roster which seems a little bit off to me. Like, they need to be careful about how they manage their heels, because, like, a lot of them basically won tonight. And there's not that many tweeners on that roster either. Like, let me go through the roster one more time. I mean, of course, they could always call up people from XT, but I'm not too sure if that's the best option right now. Right now, Tozawa's comedy. Andrade is technically face for now, but he could switch. Strowman's out injured, but he could be either depending on what the company needs. I'm not sure if they need another monster type. Let's see. Reed is a big monster type that's solo. The Creed brothers are technically faces. They're still kind of fresh though. I would like to see them face off against Alpha Academy. I think there would be some interesting interactions between the two. Punk is face for now, but could turn heel. Rhodes is definitely face. Priest, heel. Dexter Loomis is still on the roster. His is variable, but I like his gimmick though. Like being the silent killer type. I'm just surprised he isn't in the way right now. Dominic definitely heel. Drew Tweener? He's heel against some people, but face against others. Although he's been acting pretty heelish recently. Eric and Ivar, Viking Raiders are heels. Balor's a heel. Vinci's heel. Oh my gosh, my poor board. Gunther is heel. Oh my gosh, Gunther is a big wild card at the moment. Like, now that he's away from the IC title, he might have a bit more room to breathe now. I know what to do. Yeah? Can you go a little bit higher? Okay, I'll keep this one for now and then do it like that. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Ginger's heel. JD McDonald's heel. Jay's face. New Day is face. Oh my gosh, New Day is never going to go heel again. But I do hope Big E comes back eventually once he's like properly healed up and stuff. And at no risk of like losing his quality of life. Miz's face. Ricochet's face. Truth is face. Zayn is definitely face. Rollins. Bit of a wild card. It depends on how he reacts to his loss. Because he definitely would have had a better chance had he not been busy like helping out Cody a lot. Oh my gosh, I'm just gonna straight up lose this. Okay. But Rhodes is on the SmackDown roster now. So Rhodes could face Styles, who's definitely a heel. Lashley. Braun, Cameron Grimes. There's no big monster heel on SmackDown at the moment. Like, Styles could possibly do it, Or like solo. Lashley is a good contender though, seeing as he won his match. Although, how many of these guys have gimmicks? No, all of these guys are just straight up like good wrestlers. Only Karrion Kross has a gimmick with him. Interesting. Oh my gosh. Okay, I need to figure out what I'm building. My build has literally no, like, engine type cards. Oh no. Yeah, like, none of these cards really grow. That's bad. Okay, I need to figure out how to upscale this. I want to do demons, but like, I don't know if I have enough. Oh, now you pop up. Okay, I'm gonna sell you. Take you. Level you up. Do you turn into level 7? No. Damn. All these are not what I need. I need to find the one that reverses the damage. Otherwise, I'm just gonna straight up die. Like that turn alone, I lost like 8 health. Oh. Yes, Matador, do your thing. Good job, Matador. This hero power is like nearly useless though. Oh my gosh. The worst part about it is that there's nothing with buffs on it or a good death rattle. So I'm just gonna straight up die. And then if I don't find that reversal, I'm just gonna like, I can't play any more demons, basically. Oh my gosh, where is it? None of these are it. I'll take you, of course, but... Hi. Oh, there you are. Okay. I'll swap this out to get you. I'll take you and then hope. All of y'all are useless. Alright, this is my last stand. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. At least my engines are up and running properly now. Like, without this Soul Rewinder card, like, this whole composition doesn't work. Oh my gosh, I'm so dead. Okay, that's fine. Okay, that's still fine. Yes. Still good. Very nice. Oh my gosh, I'm actually surviving. Finally, jeez. Hey, there we go. Oh my gosh. Okay, yes. Take you. Don't need you, but I need you to do this. And then do that. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4. So that'll steal all of those. And then I can change this one out later. Finally. All I need now is the magnetic one. I think I'm covered. Because once I have the magnetic one, it complements this hero power really well. At the end of the day, the reason why pro wrestling is so fascinating is just like due to the athleticism, the physicality of the story, as well as like the range of characters that you see through it. Now, not all of it's going to be like stuff that captures your attention, but every now and then you see something that is quite compelling. The same reason why people go to like theater or to movies or stuff like that. Like, there's some things that are going to be unrealistic. Like, I know, like being able to survive a fall off a 12-foot ladder and like be completely safe from it. Oh my gosh, there's a way to win this. Okay, just don't hit this, please. Okay. Okay, good. Okay, oh no. Okay. Okay. Just barely. This thing is my salvation. I'll also say pro wrestling has a lot of like sexualization and stuff in it, which is a bit concerning for multiple reasons. But depends on how that is expressed too. Like, there's positive and negative ways of doing it. Like, I remember I saw Effie at a show recently. If you don't know, Effie is a really, how do I put it? Like, a wrestler who's really out there, like really flamboyant, definitely very gay. But Effie uses that as like a point of pride in their character. So it's just very refreshing to see that sort of stuff in there. Okay. Wait, this is redundant, isn't it? Hmm. Okay, so then these 3 get taken. And then I need to upgrade my tavern as soon as possible so I can get even more. Gotta get even more slots. Why is everyone running dragons? What? Oh no. Okay. This guy has a lot of weak points, thankfully. Okay. Nice. Oh, barely again. This should finish him. Math. Okay, we run this back then. Yes. I'm just gonna keep feeding this. Or maybe, yeah, let's do this to get a 4-drop. I didn't put taunt on this because I know that some people are running like quill boars, and that one quill boar will absolutely like wreck me if it hits this one over here. If I don't have this up and running, then I'm pretty much dead. That said, maybe let's do it like this. I'm hoping I can find double of this so that I can get another demon card like this, or something I can rotate around. Just hope I didn't make a mistake and that this will be enough. It should be, though. 5 demons, 6 slots. Yeah. This definitely needs to get eaten, though. Two. Yeah, there we go. That's not bad. Oh, geez, this is scary. This is gonna... What's it called? This has the capability of ramping up like real quick, especially with that card. I don't think I survive this. Yeah. There's just so much ramp. Oh. Fifth? Yeah. Alright, so I'll call it there. Probably try something different for this week. Like, there's a few things I've been meaning to try out. At the very least, I do want to finish playing Control. I don't know where I'm at in the story, though, because it seems like there's at least, like, 2 more levels to go, and Darling's still missing, so look forward to that. Trying to finish my own story. Yeah, it's already April, though. Only a couple more months till summer, and then I can start ramping up more content, have more diversity. So that'll be fun. So that's about it. Hope you guys had a good weekend, and hope you all have a good night. See ya.